Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome to Clarity for Sure once again, and welcome to another session of SEBI Sprint Session. As you already know, we have started a new initiative, that is our SEBI Sprint Session, where we are covering all those current affairs, those are relevant for our SEBI Grade A Examination. So in this session, we are going to cover October first week compilation of current affairs. And September's current affairs sessions has been already uploaded in our YouTube channel. You can watch those videos, right? So what we will do in this session is we will try to solve some of the MCQs related to these topics which we are going to cover in today's session, and at the same time I'll try to give a brief idea and a brief background about those topics from where the question has been taken from. Clear? Now, these are the table of contents which we are going to cover in today's session, and the PDF will be provided to you in our new Telegram channel. I'll leave the link of the new Telegram channel in our description, right? So, let's start the session here, starting with our very first question of the day, which is related to SEBI promoter disclosures. Right, and let me show you from where this question has been taken from. This question has been taken from here only, right, this particular news. So let's see what are the question, what is the question, right. So three statements are given over here and we have to find out the correct ones here, right. First statement, listed companies must disclose entities where promoters in-laws hold 20% of shareholding. This was our first statement. Second statement, only immediate family members of promoters are required to be disclosed under the new rules, right. This was our second statement. The third one is the objective is to strengthen protection for minority shareholders. These are the three statements given over here. Now, so, SEBI has recently clarified that listed companies must disclose information about their relatives of promoters, including spouse parents, married children, spouse and their parents, entities where these relatives hold 20% of shareholdings, even if they do not own the shares in the listed companies. This was the recent update that was been updated by SEBI, right. So here you can see, now listed companies must also disclose relationships with their promoters in-laws beyond immediate family members, right, which means this statement becomes absolutely incorrect. Only immediate family members of promoters are required to be disclosed under the new rules. Absolutely wrong, because as per the new norms, other beyond immediate family members are also be entitled to be disclosed, right. First statement, listed companies must disclose entity where promoters in-laws hold 20% of shareholding. Absolutely correct. As you can see here, right, as you can see here, entities where these relatives hold over 20% of shareholdings. First statement is absolutely correct. Second is statement incorrect. The third statement is the objective is to strengthen protection for minority shareholders. Absolutely correct, because this is the prime objective behind introducing this new norms, right. So your first and third statement are correct. So your correct answer here will be option number what? Option number C, 1 and 3 only, right, option number C. Clear? Now let's move on to our next topic, next question, that is related to Nuvama Wealth SEBI approval. So here you can see, recently Nuvama Wealth gets SEBI approval to set up mutual fund businesses, right, mutual fund business. So let's see this question. Again the three statements are given over here. Mutual fund sponsor must contribute at least 40% of the AMC's net worth as far as the norms to become mutual fund sponsor is concerned. right? This was our first statement. Second, SEBI approval can be granted even if the sponsor has a record of fraud but strong finances, right? See, these type of statements are also always seems to be incorrect, because they are talking about if a sponsor even have a track record of fraud but have a strong finance, then they might get the SEBI approval. Absolutely incorrect, because SEBI do not compromises, or any organization do not compromises with such things, right? So your second statement seems to be incorrect. Third statement, AMC and trustee companies must have at least 50% independent directors or trustee. Now, here you can see SEBI norms as per as the eligibility of mutual fund sponsor are concerned, right? Minimum 5 years of track record in financial services if is needed. The second important thing, net worth should be greater than 50 crore in immediate preceding year, profitability in at least 3 out of 5 years, right? Now, here you can see the shareholding and contribution, right? So what is written over here is sponsor must contribute less than or equal to, greater than or equal to 40% of MC's net worth. That means at least 40% of MC's net worth, right? So your first statement is absolutely correct. Mutual fund sponsor must contribute at least 40% of MC's net worth. Third statement, minimum MC net worth, as I said, 50 crore, right? Now, AMC and trustee and co must have at least 50% of independent directors or trustee. AMC and trustee companies must have at least 50% of independent directors or trustee. Your third statement is also correct, right? Which means your correct answer here will be option number A. Option number A is your correct answer. Clear? Now, let's move on to our next question. The next question is related to Finfluencer. Finfluencer, right? Now, again 3 statements are there. SEBI requires all Finfluencer to be registered as investment advisors, IA or RA, that is research analyst, right? Second is SEBI is concerned about pump and dump scheme promoted by Finfluencer. Finfluencer can legally provide stock recommendation without disclosure if they have large following, right? Now, what do you mean by Finfluencer is important in this news, right? Finfluencer are basically social media content creators who influence your financial decisions using the social media platforms like YouTube, Instagrams, right? So these are known as Finfluencer to provide advice or opinions on stocks, mutual fund, crypto, insurance, trading strategy and personal finance, right? So these are Finfluencer. Now, SEBI is concerned regarding Finfluencer because they need to be registered either as a IA, that is investor advisor or research analyst, in order to get identified by SEBI, right? So first statement is your correct statement. SEBI is concerned about pump and dump scheme promoted by Finfluencer. What do you mean by pump and dump? See, fraud where promoters, Finfluencer, artificially inflate stock prices, then sell at a profit, leaving the retail investor at a loss. This is known as pump and dump scheme, right? Which means this is also correct. The third one is Finfluencer can legally provide stock recommendation without disclosure if they have a large following. There is no such provision. Irrespective of your following list, you need to be registered as a investment advisor or research analyst in order to get identified by SEBI, right? So your third statement is incorrect. Your correct answer will be option number 1 and 2, right? Option number A. Clear? Now, moving on to our next question, SEBI at valid UPI handles. This is the topic. And this is the news from where this question has been taken from. SEBI launches validated UPI handles to secure investors' payments. All SEBI registered intermediaries will use UPI handles ending with @valid. The @valid handle system allows verification of intermediaries to reduce fraud risk. This seems to be a generic statement. Third statement is @valid UPI handles are mandatory for international fund transfers only. Let's see if these statements are correct or not. So recently SEBI has introduced @valid UPI handles, and the SEBI check tool to help investors ensure payments are made only to SEBI registered intermediaries, reducing the fraud risk in the securities market. What are the key features of this unique UPI IDs? Every SEBI registered intermediary, whether they are brokers or mutual funds etc., will now use a UPI handle ending with @valid, right? All SEBI registered intermediaries will use UPI handles ending with @valid. Your first statement is correct. Suffixes like .brk for brokers or .mf for mutual fund indicate the type of intermediary they are, obviously. The third one is UPI, the second statement was the @UPI valid handle system allows verification of intermediaries to reduce the fraud risk. So this particular framework, this particular checklist has been launched in order to reduce the fraud risk in the security market, right? So your second statement is absolutely correct. Third statement, @valid UPI handles are mandatory for international fund transfer only. This is absolutely incorrect. This is applied to both national as well as international, right? As well as national and international. Clear? So your third statement is incorrect, right? Third statement is incorrect. Option number A is your correct answer. Now, next question is about FPI outflows from Indian equities. FPIs withdraw 23,885 CR from Indian equities in September 2025. FPIs have long-term control over companies they invest in, similar to FDI. FPI inflows impact stock market volatility and liquidity in India. See, as far as the FPI and FDI is concerned, one thing should be clear in your mind, that FPI is for short term investment and FDI is for long term investment, right? FDI is invested in order to gain the control over management in the company as well, and FPIs are invested in order to get return from it, basically for short time, right? So FPIs have long term control over companies they invest in, similar to FDI, is absolutely incorrect. And as soon as you mark this option incorrect, your three statements eliminated, three options eliminated by itself, right? The third statement, FPI inflows impact stock market volatility and liquidity in India. FPI's flow impact stock market volatility, obviously, because it directly impact in stock market volatility and liquidity in India. Wherever there is withdrawal of such big amount from the Indian market, their impact will be directly seen in the stock market and liquidity in Indian market, right? So your third statement is also correct. So your correct answer here will be option number A, right? So as you can see here, this was the news from where this question has been taken from. FPI outflows from Indian equities, FPI withdraw nearly 23,885 CR. Again, not that important for your exam, that figure is not important, but what is important here, to know about what is FPI and FDI and what will be their consequences in the Indian market, right? See, as you can see, FPI investment in financial assets like stocks or bonds investment in physical assets, companies to build either factories or infrastructures, right? These are basically short term liquid, long term stable, right? These are the nature of investment as far as these two are concerned, FPI and FDI, right? Now let's move on to our next question. Last but not the least, India recently expanded UPI to which country through Lulu Group stores? This question is very important for your examination. This might be asked because recently India has expanded its UPI to which country, right? Is it UAE, USA, Qatar, Singapore or Japan? What will be the correct answer? You guys tell me in the comment section. India recently expanded UPI to which country through Lulu Group stores? Here you can see. India expands UPI reach to Qatar, right? Qatar. India recently expanded UPI to Qatar. Option number C, right? So this was all about this question, and this question is very important for your examination as well, right? So that's it for the session, right? And here is our SEBI Sprint Mentorship program. Those who are preparing for SEBI examination, you can enhance your preparation by joining this particular mentorship program. You just need to go to our website, that is www.c4scourses.in. There you will find the courses section. You will directly go and enroll in this particular mentorship program, right? So that's it for the session. Hope you like the video. If you like the video, please hit the like button. Do subscribe our YouTube channel. Follow us on Telegram and Instagram as well for daily updates. Thank you so much.